Butcher's World, Butcher's World, it's party time. Excellent. Butcher's World, it's party time. Excellent.
Okay, so right now we're standing in what I like to call the butcher's den. This is my little showroom at my warehouse, and I kind of did a lot of little attention to detail on this place. As most of you know, I go to Disneyland a lot. I trip out on all the detail that they do on everything there. So one thing I do is try to give people an experience when they come to the shop. So I try to make my showroom, the shop, everything as cool as can be, and I'll kind of want to explain a little bit about the things I did and all the work that went into this little shop. So one of the first things I bought for this showroom was this display case. This is an old bakery display case out of some bakery in Long Beach in like the 70s or whatever. It's been collecting dust. It looked like a piece of shit when I first got it. I cleaned it up, painted as much stuff as I could black in it, got the lights working, and kind of gave it like a makeshift like meat display case kind of thing. So like all the wallets are displayed on aluminum trays to make you look like you're at the deli. The hats are on top, and it kind of looks pretty cool. I really like the way it came out. So when you come in, you get the first like butcher shop look. As far as this goes, you're going to stare at this thing. And then from there, we have a little menu that I have my buddy Smart Alex Designs paint. So he came in and hand painted pretty much everything on the wall that's painted is done by him. He did the whole menu like this, as you could say. And I'm pretty excited for the first part. This is like the first rendition of what we wanted to do for the butcher's den. I wanted you to walk in, I want it to smell like leather, I want it to look like a butcher shop. There's butcher knives hanging everywhere, and I want to give you guys the best experience you can when you come in the shop. So then the newest addition we added to this was my buddy at Memphis and Blue made these two tabletop and a bookshelf for me, and we got our new Bible. The Bible's sitting right here. As most of you know, it's obviously the history of Harley Davidson. We study and live by this. You know, this is our religion here. So we got the Bible going, and I got my collection of books going here. I'm bringing more and more each day. Newest one I'm pretty stoked on is Harley Davidson Fashions. So hopefully I'll be getting a little bit inspiration coming from here. But from there on, we have the t-shirt wall. And these are all the current designs that we have right now. And the one thing I did with this is everything's hung with stainless steel meat hooks like they would do in a butcher shop. So support your local butcher. And then I got all the shirts hung up here like pieces of meat technically. But that's one of my favorite parts of this thing is the little meat hooks that I did. So yesterday, my buddy Marcy, aka Marcy Tech, he's a really good fabber. I came up with this idea with him to do a lamp for the shop. He got Crystal Head vodka, cut it in half, and fabricated this whole lamp stand. And it's a skull head, so that's like one of the coolest little handmade things we have in here right now. But as you can tell from here, I collect butcher knives. I get them on eBay or flea markets, antique shops, wherever. The bigger the better. I kind of have a staple look. There's a lot of different shapes, but I like the one that looks like our logo. And these things are ready to chop someone's head off. They're all bitchin'. Some of them are probably 100 years old. This is the first one I ever got. This is the start to Rusty Butcher. So this is the Rusty Butcher. And still got it. It's on display here. And then we have neons, as you can see. Let me turn it on. Eat shit. So you guys can come lounge right here on our bitchin' couch, check out some books, and hang out, look at some product, and you know, we just try to give a good experience, like I said. So now that's the showroom. So whenever you put an order in, let's go check out where it's packed, shipped, and all that shit. So this is an inventory room. Let's say what's up to the dogs. What? What? This is my wife, Angela. She's the one who packs and ships all your stuff and answers your complaints all the time. So everything's packed and shipped in here by her only. Small company, you know. It's me, my wife, and one other dude in the back who makes leather. And now we have a helper who does bike stuff with me, but she handles all the shipping. All right, so that's pretty much the front half of the shop. So now we're in the back. This is where the leather's made, and this is where the bikes are built. So I want to explain a little bit about what we got going on in the leather room and give you guys a tour of that. First off, one of the most important machines I got is my clicker press. So we have the clicker, and then I have all my dies for all the wallets and keychains and everything. So we stamp everything out here, and then all the logos are stamped right here as well. And then we have this awesome thing. This makes belt strips. So you put a piece of leather through there and pull it out, and it does the strips the width of the belts you want, or the straps, or whatever you want. And then we have this machine, which cuts out the belt ends. So you can do the end of the belt like that, or the other side with the buckle and everything. And then from there, if you do wallets, we have the whole production line for wallets here. We do holes, then this smashes the cap rivets together. And then this one does buttons. This also does the other piece of the buttons. And then from here, this is eyelets, bigger buttons, and then looks like bigger buttons as well over here. So as far as the rest of the stuff, we have the tabletop for finishing, and then we also have these two machines for the edges and everything of the wallets. So this is a burnishing wheel. Turn it on, put the piece of leather in there, makes it nice and smooth. And then we just got this new machine where you turn it on and you grind it across the top like that, and it makes the leather super awesome and bitchin'. But that's pretty much the leather room. Everything's made here. All the leather goods that we do are made in-house, and keep buying them. So the other half of the shop is where we build all the bikes, apparently where the magic happens. So right now we're doing some work on my race bike. It had a little leak on it on one of the oil hoses, and I burnt out the clutch. And then Mikey on the other lift has his new fat bob he completely took apart. But pretty much we do everything in here for the most part. But all the bikes are over here. I got my old truck over there that's about to go get finished, and then we'll have a little bit more room for machine tools and all that. But for now, we got 2 bays, big ass toolbox, stuff full of Snap-on, and this is where we build everything. You probably aren't even using any of these tools, huh? You just put them there so it looks cool.
No, I am. Those are all my tools for taking the little fucking liner off there, bud.
So this is race shit, bro. When you get a leak, and then you coat it in all this crap, and you put another hose over and hose clamp it. Custom.
Race shit. The old rule of thumb around
That's
here.
the old rule of thumb. If you could fit the whole beer under it, it's too loose. It's the side can. That's good. That's what you want right there. If you can chug out of it like that, that's the right,
That's the good height.
Yeah. So right now we're at the Live Fit warehouse, visiting my buddy Randall. Me and Randall are old homies from forever ago. And we're gonna do a little tour, say what's up to him, and kind of see what the hell you got going on.
Cool. Well, let me start with this. See this right here? This guy just hits me up, interrupts my work on a Friday, and he's the only guy that gets a fucking pass because he's my real homie, so fuck this guy. All right, so like you mentioned prior, I was a personal trainer. I trained at corporate Bally's and then went to a private gym later and brought all my clients there, and then scaled the business and had like a ton of clients, and then obviously me and you were both in the clothing game, t-shirt game. We knew how to make shirts. We knew how to design.
Trunk, bro.
Yeah, we knew how to design. Literally made everything.
Shirts.
So when I decided to make shirts for my clients, with my slogan at the time, which was Live Fit, it was easy. I just used all the fucking knowledge I had in my back pocket. I was like, all right, I already know where to get the blanks. I already know where to go.
Already know where to font.
Yeah.
Photoshop.
The font.com, yeah, Photoshop, all that stuff. I knew the vendors, I knew everything of where to go. So it was just real easy for me to maneuver and make that the business, like the merchandise.
It's like once you learn clothing, it's always like a good side hustle.
Yeah, it is. It's always like a good, like extra, obviously stream of revenue. And that was like what I was hoping for during my training business. It wasn't like, oh, I want a fucking clothing brand, but having ran one before, why not treat it that way? Put it up on.
A couple extra bucks in the pocket, you get to train people.
Exactly. And so the slogan caught on, to sum it up real short, it caught on. We put it on, at the time we didn't have fucking Instagram. So we put like the videos of us all training together wearing like the Team RP shirt with the Live Fit. People saw it, my clients started posting it because they were in it, and then people were like, fuck dude, let me get a shirt, or how do I be a part of this? And it just became like this movement, and people were fucking with it. Even though they weren't necessarily training with me, they wanted to buy a shirt. And that's when I was like, all right, well, meet me at this parking lot. And that's the whole selling out of the trunk came about. And yeah, it fucking literally.
I remember seeing you in your training and shit, and you're all fucking ripped, like you always have been. And then all of a sudden you were training and doing all this shit, and then you're like a mini clothing entrepreneur. And then all of a sudden it was like giant clothing mogul, and then now you're at where I'm at, or you're at where you're at, you know? And like, it's tight, because like literally I got into clothing with you. Like you were the first person who ever.
I used to work for this guy. I used to print for this guy's company.
For me. We were partners.
No, I fucking worked for this guy. He paid me out, dude. I was like, yeah, learning his shit. It was
But
tight.
you're the one who taught me. I remember.
We made our own light box.
Yeah. We used my mom's lamp as a light box to burn the screen. That shit was tight.
Yeah, that shit worked, dude. We took an order and really didn't know what the fuck we were doing, but we made it happen. Yeah, that's a.
He's the one who supposedly knew everything. He's like, yeah, I know how to do screen.
So I knew of it.
We took like an hour-long fucking class at school or something. Then we go to LA and buy all this shit. We come back to my house, and we're like, okay, Randall, so how do we do this? He's like, fuck, man, I don't know. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, we got it. We made it happen. Look at you, fuck, dude. Yeah, it's crazy, man. The game's changed, dude. But a lot of guys don't know. I mentioned in like my prior interviews with these other entrepreneurs that aren't in the clothing line, is like he was one of the dudes that I looked at and seen his growth and seen him scale. So it was like something I knew it was attainable. You know what I'm saying? So it was like someone I looked at. I was like, all right, fuck, that shit's possible, because he did all that shit, the grind and all that stuff.
It's possible on like me and Randall had no fucking money growing up. Like,
yeah, nothing.
We had like fucking nothing. And obviously we had little things our parents did what they could, you know?
Yeah.
But I didn't have fucking a giant loan to start, like, you know, like we just hustled. Proud of you.
When you're riding an old motorcycle, or riding a motorcycle in general, it's about disconnecting from the modern world for the most part, or from the corporate world or wherever, and getting a little bit closer to that whole idea. Free.
Time to work on the CVO. We got one part in, and I'm pretty stoked. I didn't think I was ever going to have a bagger, and honestly didn't ever think I was going to order a tour pack. So today we're installing a tour pack. We're going to see how many snacks we can fit in and after, and see how many cases of beer obviously it holds, and time to install this sucker. Holy shit. Oh God, look at all the gushers you can fit in there. Oh, I'll beat you, fucker. Fucking snack rig, dude. If you guys ever hate on baggers, just know, like, I'm gonna come prepared. $5, $10 a can, you know. But no one's got the snacks. I got it. Look at, we still got room for more beers.
Snack master. You've mastered the snack.
Yeah.
Basically, we got everything dialed in with the new FP Pro. So it's a wideband tuner, works with the FP3. So this isn't the one we used on yours. Yours is plugged into the bike. But it allows an FP3 to get plugged into this wideband tuner, plug in a couple of sensors into the pipe in your ECM, and then everything communicates wirelessly to a cell phone.
Oh, cool.
So iPad, Android, whatever you want to use.
When I was at Flat Out, I was getting interviewed, and they're like, what is that on your phone? And I'm like, oh, that's my tuner.
Yeah.
And I was showing them. I was like, I could see what degrees my bike's running at and RPM and all that.
Yeah, and we've got the same ones hooked up. You can just sync it to the phone easily. But yeah, at the end of the day, I was able to get your air-fuel ratio, front and rear, dialed into about 13.0.
Is that like
1.
stock, and what's the two lines?
So the two lines you're looking at, one's the front cylinder, one's the rear, and these are coming directly from the wideband, so those bungs we welded into the back. Basically hooked those two sensors into the dyno computer.
So it
as
reads
I was
each
doing
one.
Power runs, it was reading front and rear AFR live. And so this is basically me doing a run from about $2,000, and then we bumped the rev limit to 9,500. So this is from $2,000 all the way up to 9,500 RPM, engine RPM, and then we've got power and torque. So at the end of the day, we also got 65.4 horse and 47.6 foot-pounds of torque.
You know what stock is on one of these?
I'd have to look it up. Actually, I probably do have it. The OEM would be the blue. Red would be our high output slip-on. And this is back when we were toying with similar air cleaner to what you have on the bike.
Really?
So we got the same thing here. Everything's dialed in. And then this is, yeah, it's all pixely. 48, 48. Yeah, so these are both slip-ons. So the difference in here is that air cleaner.
Yeah.
So the air cleaner you have on that bike
makes it breathe a lot
compared to
better.
a stock one is about 6 extra horse.
6 horsepower?
Yeah,
That's cool.
For an air cleaner. So we've got a little
Get an air
CNC
cleaner
one.
for the street, apparently. 6 horsepower. Dude, thanks again.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
For
Thank
sure.
you. The Tune Master. Okay, so it's time for a bike check. We're gonna do one on my jump bike. I believe this is a 2003, used to be an 883R. It was all orange and everything, but now it's not, it's black. So let's go through this sucker front to back and I'll let you guys know what we have on this thing. So to start off, let's start from the bottom. Right now we're running 19-inch wheels on this with, this is a Mifo tire, and then I got 39 mil front end. These front ends we do mostly heavy duty springs from Burley or Progressive, and then this one's got preload adjusters from Burley too. We do top line tubes, coated black tubes. So those are black under there. And then I did a little, I think this is a CRF 70 front fender and a Baja Designs with the bitchin' light on there with the yellow amber lens. But to top it off on the top here, hard case 4-inch risers, Rusty Butcher hard parts bars, Cycra hand guards like always, and then ASV levers and a rock form. So pretty much similar front end to my race bike or the other bikes that I have, but this one's a little bit taller. I think it's like an inch or two over stock on the front end. But we just keep the oil pretty heavy so it's stiff and seems to work pretty well when I jump. So next up, let's go in the middle. Let's start from the bottom, go up to the top. Bottom, TBR 2-in-1 exhaust, obviously. Rusty Butcher hard parts foot pegs and timing cover, as well as the sprocket cover. And then as far as the motor goes, this has a Hooligan kit plus SNS super stock heads on it, so it's super fucking fast. And then to end it with the air cleaner on there, as always. We always run those teardrops. I love those things. But just a normal 2-gallon sporty tank that's bolted on there. Nothing too crazy on the tank. Saddleman custom seat. I believe this pan's made off the Speed Merchant seat, and then they did a custom top for me, which is the black and white stripes with my logo. And then from there in the back, we got a chain kit from Lowbrow. Fox shocks, the Rusty Butcher editions, are 14 inches. So they got the quick adjust, so you can go soft, medium, hard, like that quick. Lowbrow fender is topped with the Biltwell. I believe this is a Mako taillight. And then this thing's all rewired as well. It's got a different ignition. I think it's a Dynatech key switch right here, and just start up like that. But the other additions to this we did were hammerhead shifter on this side, and then we did a Recluse clutch, plus the Rusty Butcher derby cover. The rear wheel is an 18 with a Kenda tire, so a little bit smaller on the rear on the jump bikes. I always run 18, 19, something kind of a meaty tire. Chain kits always, and normally we run an EK chain. This one's got a different one, but I'll probably be switching to EK because they're a little bit nicer. But pretty much this is my standard setup for a jump bike. I've been running something of this kind of sort for years, and it's always worked, so I'm pretty solid on this and stand behind it, and that's my jump bike. It's Friday, and that's the end of episode 36. So it might not be Friday when you guys watch this, but whatever. Thank you for tuning in, and you know, usual, like, subscribe, share. Let's make this thing huge, bigger and bigger and bigger, and we can do cooler and cooler things. And again, thank you all for tuning in. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think.